I think there were also, I mean, there's lots of people there, but OEA was there. So, I mean, absolutely. And I think we have a legislative committee on the board, which I'm a member of, and looking at, bills that are coming through in the legislature, and are there things that we want to get behind, and then basically having us connect with OCA and EEA about what is your stance on this bill? It seems like funding is a perennial problem. Do we go in this together, and like write a letter to our legislators, those sorts of things. So I want you guys to know that even though, I mean, the board is a policymaking group, but yes, when it comes to things during these legislative sessions, I mean, we are actively seeking out. I mean, Jamie can probably answer a little bit more than me, but things like there's some bills about lunch for all students and outdoor school and gosh, there's just so much
And
safe
general
routes to school.
funding,
Yeah.
general funding like that. This is the common denominator, the lack of funds. It's always been like for forever. But this is something that our committee, the boards committee, is putting their effort into for the short session, with an emphasis on making sure that we don't have any more unfunded mandates, which come all the time. Um, Also, there was the issue last year. I think that the board, all of us were quite proud to take a stand against the federal government with regard to the Dear Colleague letter, which was unprecedented. We were the only K-12 district in the United States to do that. It's something I'm proud, I'm very proud about. Um, it didn't solve all our problems, obviously, but I think it was extremely important.
And I know somebody put something in the chat. We did vote in February, on February 4th, about the phase three budget reduction. So that should be up on the web page, and it should be in board book um, about that.
But I think too, if there are places where employee groups and board members, and if we can stand shoulder to shoulder on things, that would be wonderful. We're uh, as you probably know, because of our a lot of our answers, that we are bound by public meeting laws and all kinds of weird things that I wasn't even aware of when I signed up for this job. But still, when there are opportunities out there to stand together for something that benefits our kids, and we can do it, we would love to do it.
Really quickly, I just wanted to apologize for the abrupt switch. As I was popping back and forth to the rooms, it seemed like it would be beneficial to actually come back together. There was a lot of just to kind of have those ideas exchanged within the whole group at this point. However, I don't want to discourage people from, you can still drop questions into the chat. Um, I just wanted us all to be able to hear some of what was happening. Um, Tina, do you or did you have a scribe that might want to give a little bit of feedback about what you guys were discussing?
Well, I voluntold Nate, and then Katrina chimed in to help out. So maybe we can start with Katrina and see what Nate thinks about our thinking.
Okay.
Just
All right.
sharing a reflection of what we said. Is that what you said? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's two. Okay. There, I am the other Katrina. That is
Oh
the
yeah. Hey,
confusion.
Katrina.
And I was also taking notes. I was like, I don't think I was in your Tina's group. But so, Katrina, you are the one talking, not me right now.
Or you. Or you. That's fine. Yeah, I will share. Nate, I did make a little Google Doc and tried to take notes to capture what everyone said. I shared it with you if you want to look at it and help.
Amazing.
No pressure.
Thank you.
We started, just a quick summary, we started, Dr. Mickelson shared about the difficulty facing especially like new teachers in their, just beginning in their careers, and shared personal experience of her own family who's experiencing that. And so that was really valuable. I personally asked a lot about the middle school schedule and how we can be assured that there are elective and special education teachers represented on the team of folks to creatively make the schedule work for everyone in an equitable way, in a truly equitable way. And then we did hear that Sebastian Bolden recently met with union members, but it wasn't clear whether elective or special education teachers were present for that. But we did receive some assurance that those kinds of teachers would be on that team. We talked about collaboration and prep time, especially with the middle school schedule, and possible earlier start times and earlier release times, because Nate said little changes can be really big changes, and I think we're all super aware of that. We talked about high school prep hour versus a 50-minute at the middle school level now with this new change. And then we talked about IEPs during the school day and the labor that is required in that, as well as the travel time in order to get a whole team present for an IEP meeting, as well as the lift that is involved in that, especially with our special education teachers and all the team members that need to be present for those many IEPs. So some possible solutions were, or some possible creative solutions were Zoom meetings for IEPs to make it more accessible, especially for itinerant staff members. And then I will be done, and then the team can chime in anything that I missed. And that's actually where I will stop.
Thank you, Katrina. Yeah, I looked at the document. Thanks for doing that. One thing I wanted to add on too, and I've heard the board talk about this as well, is when you're talking meeting workload. And one thing I just want to call out that weighs on me is the 504 workload of our counselors. We've talked about IEPs, but 504s, there's just as many, and those are meetings that fall disproportionately on some educators and not others. A lot of math teacher, right, certain content. I'm an elective teacher, so I'm not called into as many, and I see these amazing content teachers that, and this was to the point in our breakout room of early, you might have an early IEP, teach all day, and then you have an after school IEP or 504, and it just falls disproportionately on some people. And yes, our association and the district have worked collaboratively on our funding for reimbursement, but some people are putting in just unbelievable hours, and that's the work-life balance that we're going to continue to lose people. And I'm not going to call her out by name, but losing amazing special education teachers who the workload is just so suffocating, and I just got to put that label on it that there's not respite, there's not relief, and we definitely need to do something different so that we don't lose a lot more educators. I liked what I heard in our breakout room as far as having a whole day for sped teachers to have IEPs, just kind of a gauntlet of them. And so they're not looming 3 or 4 before and after school IEPs that week. You can, working with families, and we're so accommodating to families, that's great. But we also have to think about our reduced workforce, that we're losing people, and people have resigned. People are continuing, sped teachers, to leave our district, and they're amazing educators. And I just literally, physically and literally tip the cap to them and what their job entails. So that's another area for opportunity. Maybe that early release time on Wednesdays is an opportunity for more educators. And I was talking to Dr. Mickelson about teacher agency, of we're going to lose some prep time together, losing one of those prep periods where teachers collaborate, and one of those is going to be gone. And so looking at other ways out inside the contract day that people can get those meetings in. So I just wanted to amplify that voice. Jennifer brought us Skurlock as an inspiration to me, and I saw Dr. Mickelson at our conference. I heard so many inspiring things at our Envision Ed conference Friday, and I just wanted to appreciate her, and Judy was there, and all of the people hearing some valuable ways to shift the paradigm, to keep amazing educators in the profession and not have them leave.
Thank you. Before I do see, Lisa, I see your hand. Before I do that, I just wanted to, Jamie, did you have somebody who was taking notes in your session, or were you taking notes that you'd like to give a quick recap of what you guys were going over, and then we can elaborate and ask further questions?
The other Katrina was taking notes.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Katrina.
Katrina, are you still here?
Yeah, I am. My share out is not quite as detailed. I was kind of wrapped up in our conversations, but I kind of documented that we started out voicing concerns over, just everyone is what's on everyone's mind is the budget cuts and how that is decided, when that is decided, kind of the comparison between our district and Springfield. I thought that it was really great to talk to Erica and Tom. They had some good answers for us, but still, a lot of unanswered, which they wouldn't have the answers to just yet with regards to the class sizes, the cuts, our concerns there, and how we can, I think it kind of ended to the point of how can we let the board know what our independent needs are as schools, and moving forward, how can we share that with the board? What would be a good avenue to take to do that? And so putting the thought into semesters, trimesters, we kind of talked a little bit about everything, I felt like, but voicing a lot of the concerns that we've already talked about. Did I miss anything? Okay.
Thank you, Katrina.
Maybe the only thing I would add is just the elevation of a concern around making sure that there's adequate support for our students on IEPs and students that where we're having behavior concerns and student safety and classroom safety concerns because of escalated student behavior was another concern that was raised in our breakout room.
Thank you. Lisa, do you have a question or comment?
Sure. I just wanted to comment back onto what Nate was saying about special educators. And I truly value general education teachers. And I know that those 504s, those tag plans, those are huge amounts of jobs that go on top of everything that regular educators do. But, I wonder if we can find a way when there's a team created to find a balance into getting everything done. Maybe everybody needs to take on a small amount of everything as we move into different not roles next year, but everybody's got to pick up a little piece of the pie. When I see somebody sitting at the water cooler having a chit chat, I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that too. Some of us don't have time for that. And so one thing that I would hope that we could even consider in scheduling meetings is that we stop our meetings 5 to 10 minutes before the hour, whatever's appropriate. Because, oh yeah, there's a meeting at 5 o'clock or the next meeting's at 3 o'clock and our meeting goes 2 to 3. There's no bathroom time. Everybody's expected to be on time. And if timeliness is important, we've also got to give that balance of self-care. that everybody needs 5 to 10 minutes, whatever whatever it's decided, 5 to 10 minutes at the end of meetings before we're supposed to jump into, the next training or the next thing, that we stop our meetings when we're supposed to, and that we honor each other, because we're all in this together, and it's the only way that we're going to do this. It's not special ed versus general education. It's all of us. We're all educating our children, and we all need self-care, and we all need people to stand up and support each other. It's the only way that we're going to get through this. We got a $30 million budget shortfall, and it's gonna come down into people, and if there's any time that we're Team Eugene, let's jump on now. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I wanted to touch on, there's things that are in the chat, and I will have a copy of this chat for everyone. But going back, there's discussion around kind of the different ways that 504s are managed in different buildings, finding consistency in that and who's participating. I know that also stands for some of the MTSS meetings. I think there are a lot of discrepancies that come up between how different administrators interpret directives. And so that can be difficult or frustrating depending on where you are. I also see Kyle posted that there's of the 4J student population on 504s and IEPs, it's now almost 25%. And so are we thinking about systemic changes to
Oh my gosh. Hmm.